We fled Europe and survived the seas.
We were happy. None more than Klaus.
This is a lie.
Because of Jane Ann's sacrifice.
How dare you? Kill her and the baby.
Klaus?
To what?
To start over.
Klaus.
Our family was ruined. We were ruined.
I will not be manipulated. I'm gonna kill.
Falls to resume your life. Is it so important to you that people quake with fear?
Love, loyalty, that's power. Before ego, before anger, before...
What can I do?
What you can... Your town. That's funny, because when I left 100 years... I'd like to know how I saw it. Which means... I am immortal. Who has the power? Friend. Why must you keep harping on about the baby? In fact, alien, make me say it again.
I will not let him go.
This town, power, loyalty. I want what he has. What does it mean to you? Tell Sophie Devereaux we have a deal. Always keeps his word. Your underhanded deal worked quite well. You happy to accept my only concern now is this coven of impudent witches. One too many times daggered and shoved in a... Or perhaps because in my desire to reclaim this... You. There is no power in love. Like a lot of graves to dig.
So, we hear
Nightwalkers.
Enough with all the shouting. I assume the 6 dead vampires were your doing. I do have friends. I have Marcel. You remember him, don't you?
I remember the lavish parties the governor threw.
Klaus,
It's not gonna happen, sister. Human beings would cease to exist and we'd have no bloody food. Well, he wasn't good enough for you. Not quite over yet. I'm off for another drink with Marcel. The entirety of witches in the quarter, and I aim to uncover the how, so I might... And survivors need names. About Marcellus. Well, this is a far cry. Tourists with a stamp on their hand and vampire blood in their vein. Abnormal psychology. Well, perhaps you could help... Now counter parry. Give me the privilege of honesty or that will cease to be the case. And you won't. Go for her, but I am the constant. I know that face. Woman high school quarterbacks. I can't imagine she'd be interested.
In Bionville Park.
My sister's in the clear.
about that.
Being a trail of bodies like a road map to my door.
You obviously don't give a...
Spell it out for you, shall I? So I created a day zero and got there first. About what you can do for me. Wounded and damaged by demons he can't escape. I understand. Give him one chance. Compel him to believe his mate. Good. Because I have a question. Haley, bloody French Quarter in the first place. Answer me!
It's okay to want something. That's all Elijah was trying to do, all he's ever wanted for you.
Elijah to Marcel. See if I can. Did I not warn you?
I beg of you! Any other, you saw it in him from the very first day. You cannot kill him.
You are right. I can just see your face, and it is indeed priceless. Sunday. It's 1887, Rebecca. You've been daggered for 52 years. You're aware. What stopped you? I'm beginning to think
Is trying to take him down, take what's his.
Treat him like a son. And when my father chased me and he survived, he had thrived. He is sleeping in our beds. I want it all back.
Marcel likes her, and because of that,
They were my responsibility. They attacked the helpless pregnant girl who's carrying my...
The one who is now in the...
Albeit one who is unaware that I would have weighed my options a bit differently. War. Not still upset about that little toxic werewolf. Peace. City councilman as he accepts your gigantic charitable donation. You understand I had to ask. Much longer than you'd think, considering the answer was as expected. We can't kill the favorite son or he'll catch on to us. Step. What's taking so long to do? When we're done here, which is...
fraternizing with the enemy.
Well, that means he just... are at war. How very tragic. Full detail when we made our deal. Marcel's secret weapon. Vina has Elijah. You witches, I assume, want to get Davina away. Win a war without a few strategic losses, no matter how many times have the vampires been one step. You're right. He's good.
Right?
You don't want the witches to get too bold. Sure, you've considered the possibility that it could have been a trap. Dare I ask?
Let's just say his attention will not be on us.
I'm preparing insurance against the tender-hearted, and I, in turn, have arranged for things to go tragically. That would be unforgivable. What's worth dying for, if not love? For tonight's events, I must say. You do look stunning. Well, don't be fooled, love. I'm the devil in this. Don't worry about it. Ancient history.
Send your palms away. Palms while I'm unnamed.
With the recipe for making new ones.
She just saw an argument, mate. There's nothing you can't fit. Gary, you know. I can tell he was... Yeah.
It's over for your friend. It's very nice.
Night was a masterpiece.
You met
Him. Exactly where I want him. Marcel, I've cemented his trust so much so... Thing I need to know about Davina. Elijah is returning to us. Really know him. And yet you miss...
There are moments when I doubt my family's Yet each time that I am
not call evil, I believe to be an appropriate response. Because I enjoy your understanding someone of my complexity. Turned to New Orleans to investigate a threat posed against me, manipulate me into helping her. He thought of another young woman, a girl, really. I think I prefer to talk.
And no one else is around. And then you leave, and I go back to...
Well, that's how compulsion works, love.
Yeah, but what's happening? Apparently she's going through a hard time.
I don't have the luxury of passing up tonight's opportunity. Please, sister, tell me you're not still at it with the internet. Like looking for a needle in a rather large pile of needles. Marcel's delay in returning our brother makes me suspect he's no longer in charge. Loyalty to Marcel is strained. Perhaps the young witch will be open to discussing a new alliance.
It's crazy to me, but at least it makes sense.
It's a rather awful place. Best to meet it on its own terms.
Something breaks them down. This had none of them. He didn't drink, he didn't do drugs.
You're really adorable. Warms my heart, it really does. But I do need a word with the young... Your current dilemma strikes me as a case of poor alliances. Surely you prefer just a little bit more free. And yet Marcel keeps you prisoner. Young Timothy moves on with his life. But then that depends on you. What do you mean she's missing?
What do you think I'm...
Keep looking. I'm on my way. But sadly, I've run out of time to play nice. Innocent bystanders. Oh, no. Let's not be... For you, Davina. With Witches learn of him if they know you have a weakness, then poor Tim might... You'll remember losing the instrument backstage after... Who took her, Rebecca? You don't know. Then who killed her at... You've completely...
How did you escape?
I've got you, love. I've got you. I've had quite a night. I recall you mentioned something.
Standing alone against his demons.
Whatever lies on the other end of this mystery will only offer you pain. Nothing will bring your brother back. Then if I allow you to remember, the knowledge will eat.
Bonded our whole lives.
I will make sure whoever harmed your brother will need to be good. Unborn child, I dismantle Marcel's army and almost killed by a gaggle of lunatic witches. What kind of vision? Well, how, may I ask, was this particular vision interpreted? Well, I grow fonder of this child by the second. Do tell. Why haven't I heard of this? Marcel! Bit early in the day for you, isn't it? All that responsibility seems like such a book. Dead witches in the bayou. Some are more like a cause for celebration. Well, why not? I haven't been to the bayou in ages. I'm on my way. I'd prefer for Marcel's informant not to find anything that would lead him back to us. Stay put. Hello, Rebecca, you crossed that I'm out with your...
Keeping an eye, just promised to keep her safe, so...
Sure. Temperamental sister. So where's your informant?
Thomas?
Well, I suppose it will give us a chance to talk things over. Like why you haven't returned Elijah. Maybe your young witch has grown partial to his company. She must get so bored. Never answer, do you? Okay. Okay. I'll ask the harmless questions then. You hypocrite. You torture those witches, and yet there you were getting positive. Vampire lover in her hour of need. What did she do?
Made it seem like he would...
So they attacked Kieran's nephew.
Yeah.
The boy killed a twin. Let me understand this. Against all logic, maybe Marcel's informant, and then you lost him.
Yes.
But I'll need a distraction.
His sister again.
She craves attention. Just getting to the juicy bits.
And I do...
I do. Marcellus. You're quite the knight in shining armor, as much as she owes you. You never could have banned the witches from using magic without her. And if they do, you lose yours.
Isn't this like old times?
The razor's edge. I'm gonna use the loo.
Werewolf. She was stupid being out there all alone.
Yeah, she was, wasn't she? Yes. It's amazing how gullible some people can be. In there touching up his lipstick. He didn't tell you he was leaving. Pathetic. And obvious. I taught you better than that. Well, is the strong always take from the weak? King with a bunch of children for too long. I can take Davina anytime I like.
Finally, what?
The story that Sophie Devereaux fabricated 4 months after that. If Sophie Devereaux is successful in capturing...
My wrath did end, and he knew that it was mine. In the morning glad I see. Judge, brother, and already the witch linked to Haley has been abducted. Entertain you with today's list of priorities. 1. Unlink your friend Sophie, so she no longer controls. Convince my brother to accept my heartfelt apologies for some recently dodgy behavior.
Time ago. We used...
Compared a few decades and tell us what it does, love.
It has one purpose.
We'll chat with this Agnes. Where can I find her?
Out.
That's precisely why we need to unlink you.
Name is Klaus. And you lot are the faction. Well, I should know. I created this group. This was the answer to a question you've been asking since you ran screaming from... Who hexed your nephew? Have the time! Nor do I like being asked to wait. You know what I like about you, Father? Is you're aware of my reputation, and yet still you stand tall against me. That's a good thing I am. You seem hell-bent on enacting vengeance all on... Trouble is, I need something from Agnes before you send her off to me. We strike a deal. Bring her here. Cammy remains safe. I would so hate for her to get caught up in all of this. After release. Enough. Ridiculous little harvest ritual. What I care about is this trinket. Undo its curse, or I'll show you things worse than... It's a work, Agnes. You know, I caught artfully arranged outside your families to leave a fitting message. Don't touch my family.
Leave her.
You tend to give your word at the most inopportune times. Run. Just one little snap and it's toodaloo, Agnes. My noble brother. How's that for personal growth, eh? Do you remember the promise I made you? And I kept my word. Hexed him to commit those murders and to kill himself. You needn't trouble yourself over her. You paid for her actions in blood. Well, I had a hand in the matter, yeah. Forgive me if I'm a little surprised by your reaction. I've been alive for 1,000 years, and I can assure you many people have died for far less. Now you can find comfort in the truth.
You compel me. You make me at peace with something. I don't know how. And when I do...
Hey. Water under the bridge. Marcel was here. Good evening. I'd like a word. Your home, is it? She's an old friend. You know how sentimental I am about old friends.
And a mad had taken up residence. You don't believe me?
You do realize they can hear you.
If your special lady friend is missing...
Where are you going? Splashing about in the bog might ruin your expensive shoes.
There are stories
Of more like herself. I suppose our company wasn't good enough for... You begun to admire this girl, hoping to impress Haley by assuming the role of family. No. But I found someone else. Tyler Lockwood. He wants revenge because I went after his... Back when I had the means to sire hybrids, he was... Although I didn't give him much choice in the matter. He was loyal in the beginning. My other hybrids against me, I couldn't have that. So I massacred the lot of them. Tyler ran like a coward before I could finish him off. Then there was this business with his mum. Then, have at it, brother. Save her. Claim what spoils you can. I've sampled what she has to offer, and let me tell you, though not one I'll be extending to you. Hello, Tyler. You look well. I aim to change that. Threatening a pregnant girl in order to exact revenge. What do you think Caroline would say if she saw what you've become? This your idea of revenge, Tyler? Let's end this, shall we? From bloodthirsty. Perhaps it's best your mother didn't live to see you like this. I thought I made you better. Quite the disappointment.
Like how you failed at making hybrid?
Begging me to sweep away the shards of your shem. Any idea how that's possible? Well, Aunt?
He claims you knew that.
And of course you assume it's true. I mean, why else would I show any interest in my own flesh and blood? Little crybaby points his finger at me and my own brother falls in line, eager to believe it. How quickly you assume the worst. Especially when it comes from her. I'll play bite, my parting gift to you both. I left them in the bayou. Haley's conspired to turn him against me. Led to another, and I bit him. Wickedness is self-preservation. I not beset on all sides by incompetence and treachery. Now that Elijah's abandoned me, I'll be needed in my plot against Marcel. Who better to spy on Marcel than the girl he so clearly loves? Capable of forgiving those who disappoint me, as soon as they've seen the error of their ways and suffered for them. Marcel today, avoiding me, some might say. I thought perhaps... Let me give a voice. Brother lies writhing in agony in the bayou, when just 1 or 2 drops of his blood would ease his pain. Come on, Rebecca. You've been giving me the devil's eye all morning. Out with it. Poppycock. I would never bite you. Very offensive accusations about my intentions towards my child. He deserves a day or 2 of discomfort. Others before their own blood. All I've done is tried to win this battle of wills over my... If the daggers weren't missing, I would put one in each of their...
Same destructive cycles over and over again.
Draw on your own time.
What do you want?
I compel her. Won't leave things be. Her mind churns with the permutation. What really happened? The vampires and gets herself killed. Piece of her mind earlier today. I would have killed others for less. Apologies for my behavior can come later. I want it back. Look at you. Sit! Cease! Is that it?
This is high folly. Is it not enough? Word of a city littered with bodies will surely travel.
I've sent rumor that the bodies are a result of the witches seeking blood. Yes, the witch you've been knocking around. I hear they're rounding up the town's witches as we speak. Vampires of New Orleans. I cannot be killed, knowing I will be eternally in you. To borrow a trick from an old...
Oh my God, please don't best believe boy, there's hell to pay, saying, oh my God, come and finish that!
Well. Our rules of engagement in battle, Marcel. Without them, you'd have...
You can't own it. You can't...
Well, perhaps it should be you, brother. Moment of tenderness you show to Haley. It has everything to do with her.
Has history...
I bow down to you, brother. Falling again for a man you shouldn't be with. For past sins, intentions for my own child were pure. You chose to stand. You're coming with me, little one. As will anyone else who tries to stop you getting in this car. Let us begin with a toast. And our defeats. You would know that there is, of course, one further matter I would like. Vicious rumor that I intend to use the blood. I assure you, I do not. It appears I will have to earn your trust. If there are no more werewolves alive in the bayou, have fun. And then...
That way I'm too...
I only compelled you to give him a chance. Anything you felt for him was quite real.
Real me.
Well, actually, I prefer devoted stenographer.
Messing with my mind?
No, love, I don't believe it is. You never found this. You'll remember nothing of our life as vampires when you leave here. Do you understand?
But you want to know how I built what I built? Pilot.
Duly noted. I haven't thought about this night in ages. 1919, the opera. It was the end of an era. I feel there are some things I should probably confess to you. Found at your discretion, you just learned. And then there's young Joshua. I've been compelling him from the beginning, although I suspect you already knew that, as he was the one who led me into your trap. Yes, about that. Turns out your little witch is quite the... I see you're an artist. Forward to witnessing your many talents. Devoted to Marcel, but Marcel is devoted to meeting to attend downstairs. Is that so?
What the mayor means is that we...
I'm to play supplicant to this pompous ask. Whatever scraps I see fit to leave you, and you will be grateful. I think I was far more gracious than they deserve. You're disappointed by my lack of diplomacy. Hello?
Mr. Mikaelson.
Marcel offered me wise counsel, and I failed to heed. Oh, I won't be making that mistake again. There he is. What am I going to do with you? To a united front. Between us was quite real.
Right, I'm holding.
Fair enough. My decision was not entirely my own. Witches swore to kill my unborn child. But first, the promise of an offspring meant little to me. Then how he held me in contempt from the moment I was born. I admit. You were created on your own, without me. I saw it. This community that you've built. You said it yourself. They abandoned you, left you on. Yes, well, I have reason to. If the werewolves are dead, then the vampires have less desire to kill. I am trying to keep you safe, that you appreciate the effort. For your pathetic attempt to undermine mounted to extinction, I expect you to stand aside and let the...
Do you recognize it? Perhaps you don't. It has been a Their mythology further states this child.
Even if this is what you... I've had enough of family to last me. Why would I possibly want any more? One? It involves helping. CI recently ordered the slaughter of a group of... If the vampires find out I'm protecting them, it won't sit. It's one of the things I like most about looking for truths you don't want to find. It's time for you to leave this place, Cammy. If you knew even a fraction of who I am, it would break you in two. Knowing what you do about this world will only get you... But you are obstinate in your desire to do so. And Rebecca are welcome to join me. It is, after all, our family home. Seems our little bird has flown the coop. Child, to whom you refer so affectionately, is the most powerful. No. If she's not a friend to this well, let's hope so. You don't like festivals?
I don't...
For the record, we're moments away from retrieving them.
Clearly you have some diabolical mechanism.
Joshua, my most disappointing... In fact, Marcel and I were just chatting.
Rebecca that I'm concerned about. And how can you be so certain that Davina will come?
One might think you'd... Timothy, play something a little more upbeat, please. Well, I'm sure you'll have your chance. Hello, love. Well, first we have to have a little chat about you returning to the fold. But I do always get results. Well, I tried to talk to her. I made it clear she is not our friend. It's just a matter of time. There is no dealing with those who threaten us. Oh, come on. The judgment is overwhelming. I remain as redeemable as... Judging by your expression, you have something you'd like to share.
Let's just say there are pressers had better watch out.
You remember.
Made me realize exactly why I want to stick around. And then you can kiss the friend.
I, too, am resilient.
Safe and sound down the hall. Celeste was quite beautiful. And a portent of evil, according to our volatile artist in residence. Oh, that's going well. Oh, are there any more inopportune deaths you'd like to wave in my face? Young, old, dead or alive, witches are a pain in the arse. Bloody hell. Davina. Charming little habit she's developed.
Thought that we had more time.
Self-destruct, she'll cycle through 4 stages that represent the 4 elements. And is water.
Rain, flood, how bad?
But that's not the worst of it. It will be by far the worst. But I didn't take over this town to watch it burn to the ground. Yes. But you're not gonna like how. No need to let her blow the roof off our heads in the mean. I'll let you have that one.
Marcel. So now you want me to just hand her over?
Do you eat the harvest? Not only do they regain their power, we lose our weapon. I will not let that happen again. Do I? If you fancy yourself as plus diplomatique, but... Which one of us is the people person again?
Okay, we need to divide.
They might even be at the church. the last place we'd think to look for them, right? What are you doing? A dungeon and throw you in it. This is not the night to be...
For anyone.
Right. For me, doesn't desire to do good. But now I need you to be useful. Must I look on your face? They haven't sought refuge in your attic.
Well, those days are gone.
Then they're not your werewolves. Their might has brought out the philanthropist in me. What can I say? The blood that runs in their veins runs in mine. And in our child's.
Not that
If you did try to kill us all, you're a bit of a mad genius, Elijah. Always and forever. Marcel, this is our community, the vampires of... I'm sorry. You may think I know nothing of your grief, but you're wrong. In the days after I fled this city, I thought you... I'm not complaining about the witches losing their power, but this did not go down the way I thought it would. You surprised me, though. How did you find them down at the docks? Sometimes I think I don't give you your due, little... So did I. There was so much life in her. You know how much I enjoy these illicit little games. Lucky for you, my brother always keeps his word. You two are from the Guerrera crime family.
Yes, of course. But with prohibition...
Well, I suppose we'll to issue him with a pardon. Welcome home, Thierry. I bear the full weight of our kingdom while you pout like... If the men see you shirk your duties, they're likely to do the... Sorry, Davina's gone, okay? I'm sorry!
That's with the witches, just like you said. And these two, they went missing. Found them like...
Some upstart witch is salvaging old tricks and off like a scared child. Who of you so afraid of you, of this new threat? Poor hero, triumph prodigal son has finally learned to hold his lick. Some rogue witch wants a piece of the city we built and is beyond my comprehension.
Surely Marcel. Marcel shall be able to decide that for himself.
Thank you for accepting our invitation and...
So why was he inviting his enemy?
To break your despair long enough to pick up the... You could meet me here. We could start burning passers-by at the stake. And where might that be? The bottom of a bottle of scotch. You could snap out of this funk and come and help me end this. Perhaps you can explain the attacks on my men, mate. Elijah is the brother you meet when negotiations are to be had. One you get when negotiations are closed. You're almost always near those twin sons of yours. How they bear your distinctive mark. Got me to
Old school stuff, rooted in sacrificial magic.
Well, I didn't expect a call from you, so get as far away from there as you can. All united against me. You failed. You think that I am the one who needs to earn your respect. Good riddance to him, I say. We've no room for slackers. Business, shall we? With a little... He'll continue to attack us, channeling power from the vampires he sacrifices, he kills, he grows...
Saint Anne's can finally once again...
Problem. I'm meant to seem like devoted parishioners.
From God, and it is that hope that allows us to be here today.
We're hoping for some word from your human sources.
He's called Papa Tunde.
And more is brewing between...
Well, don't look at me. I tried to... Yes, Diego, what do you have for me? Magnifying glass, perhaps. Tunde defeated Rebecca with their prize fighter.
Listen to this.
What?
The tourist...
Kill the...
Celeste.
And we'll still be in this.
You hate me. Truth be told, and here's your family. And Kieran should be proof enough they're the enemy. Is Papa Tunde's blade. And yet you chose to reject their offer. Let's see what we can do about saving your uncle, shall we? Drink up. I think you've suffered enough. You will overcome what the witches did to you.
What are we going to do?
I'm gonna find the witch who did this, and then I'm gonna do what I do best. Who needs a locator spell when I have all the leverage I need, right? The witch! Bastiana! The hell you think you bet me the hypocrisy of your moral code? It didn't stop you. I know you're close. Stench of witches hangs in the... Mark my words! Oh, I decide who lives and dies here, Marcellus.
Fever granny in your feet. Don't mind fever granny.
My wound isn't healing, Tamanya. The witches show me kindness.
You never did anything to me.
Well, then betray the others and stand. Rebecca is of no concern. So this is your great betraying round behind my back for the better part of 2 centuries.
As far as I'm concerned, you only...
I don't know what you're playing at. Sum total of your plan to turn me against my sister was...
I was hoping that...
Enough of your lies!
Don't dismember the messenger. And as the city...
But Rebecca would not call my father.
What do you see?
Never could stand weapons with things not meant for... Rebecca!
I'm sorry.
But your face tells a different story. You cannot hide from me, Rebecca! I'll take my pleasures in other ways. Sister, you'll long for what the dagger offered. This will be far less merciful. How to describe exactly raw, inescapable anguish? Are we skipping the part where you beg for mercy? To the slaughter. I wanted to see. To your beloved. Bunker Stokes. An overfitting a werewolf queen. We did it, brother.
We worked together, Klaus, but this vision, this was all you.
I thought I'd be doing.
Line between what brings us and what sustains us is far thinner. Clearly a pair.
Why must you cause trouble?
This opportunity to draw attention to 2 people sneaking around behind my back. We require more progress. Not so sure about that. There's a fresh blood supply in the kitchen. If I had a quid for every time a woman's tried that line, some women actually find me quite... Our old enemy. Tickets to tonight's opera, Le Huguenot.
We have a soprano to die for.
Brother, I have some business I need to discuss. On the day, there to speak to me of Elijah. Yes, even when my father enlisted him to kill. Oh, but we can, love. And my father was the only one with the father to take from us the very thing he forced upon us all for not stopping our father. Kill you, he wants to kill you. Well, if you have to ask, you obviously haven't been paying us some sustenance with a little less vervain in it.
In you versus the horrible things I know you.
Bringing the most vile creature ever to have walked the earth. You know, I've been called every shade of monster, but that's that night in 1919 when the opera house burnt down on this very to a bad start.
Father?
Words we have for each other have been spoken.
I made some ultra.
I tried to save myself, attempted to intervene, no! But then Big Brother swooped. And so I ran. But all that we had built died. That I will simply... Rebecca! Cherish the breath! We... Ma! She's mine. Move! You would side with that trick. We cannot leave this cemetery. How long do you think you can defend? Although it might have to be over your... Stab me with that blade, forcing me to endure hours of unspeakable... My rage toward you. I'm not him. You've forgotten what he was truly like. It's me to show mercy to one who has wronged. Really don't know me at all.
Look you in the eye and tell you what...
Our father, you brought him to our home. What possible defense could you have? Oh, so that's your defense? Called Michael, the Destroyer. That's in your own poor judgment. Do not mention his name. For so long. For Marcel. Perhaps that was why you did it. Whose turn to oust this family and to take my sin? And yet you can't help but wonder, what if I'm wrong?
I wanted rid of you.
They could finish me off for good. Defend her. Betrayed you as well when she brought Michael here. My man hated me. You know that's true. Why are you telling me this now? And stand against me. And not with that pathetic... You see? The bastard can be saved. Liar! You wanted revenge.
All I did was love your friend.
Where is Marcel now? If Marcel were here, you'd stand a chance. Due to do what you did. Allow you to help him. Or... Perhaps I did. Being evil, and yet you are the one who conspired. All of you. Myself this way.
You with your anger and paranoia.
Vicious father. What is it you want, Rebecca? Then go. You're free. Reason why you lot are loitering in my home.
Ask them to be here.
Nicely done, brother. Beginning to sound like me. I'm impressed. The greater the loss, the deeper the cut. Also revealed the truth about our sister's treachery, which she apparently harbored for quite some time.
Now, I feel our sister's lost as deeply as you.
Why must I? Exactly.
Because you wanted this throne.
Really? The woman...
Well, New Orleans breeds nothing if not strange bedfellows.
You seem super tight with...
Good. These hexes, they start with magic. Sorry, Cammy. Damn it. Not a fan of cerulean blue. If you want peace, you must begin. 100 years ago, they had a run at ruling this city. As of late, take a page from Bienville. Rather labels the obstacle.
Keep them from tearing one another to shreds.
For a spectacularly boring evening.
Looking for your strength?
Tell me you're jealous of Cammy, though. Well, sometimes ordinary is a welcome respite. Oh, you are. Not another thought about Cammy. I know your burden. Pride. That's exactly why I haven't snapped you. Only to give you back the city that was taken from you. I'm not trying to undermine Elijah's venture. Safety of that unity is what I want for my unborn child. Party just got interesting.
It all happened, so when...
Fine. If it'll make you... But I assure you... We'll see. With all the racket!
This could use a makeover.
Careful. When this one agrees with you, it's a sure sign she wants some.
Feast of the blessing.
Such a stiff, Elijah. Besides, what better way to cement solidarity than a show of faith to a one? She's the reason behind this. Elijah, the truth is, the mother of my child is werewolf royalty. Don't worry. I'll bring her home before the birth. No child of mine will be born in a swamp.
You gotta be kidding.
He's one of my clan, a distant relative from the north. He believes his treaty is working. He'll be less inclined to get in my way. Because it's my decree that the words you're looking for are thank you. Release you from your mortal coil. The packs should have been united. Marcel saw that weakness and you may as well stay in your hovels in the bog. I don't believe we've had... I understand that this... Could you ask around for me, mate? See what you can find out.
Sorry.
You want to use Father Kieran's ailment as an excuse.
And I won't be threatened. So...
Fortunate coincidence finding you here. Fair love, you're not quite as powerful as you once were, are you? Positioned to give orders. Very special witch. Has been utterly... I understand why you would reject me, given in truth. Many of us here to plot to kill me. It would be well in the spirit of solid forward. You have nothing to fear from me. Please. Made quite an impression with the wolves. Supposed to be a secret, and yet you forced it out of them. It's very, as long as your people benefit. You were tough. I knew you were cunning.
Haley.
Because I killed her first love. I do try to make up for my wrongdoings. So, yeah. Leave my mother's grimoire unprotected.
I might have been naive enough to fall or fear you, but I learned a lot in death.
It's a pity. I will miss the set. If the priest dies, then believe me, you will follow. Oh, I see that you've... Come on, then. Lest you forget, Elijah, they are my family, isn't it, to help them, when in doing so I help Haley. Suppose your affection for Haley has nothing to do with your tireless dedication. Zeal with which you destroy those who would harm.
If I want something...
Whatever it is, you should sleep.
She was moved by your plea she made of revenge. She is refusing. It will be a horrible death. Secrets are a poison. Like your secret. About your time with me. In fact, I believe you can. It appears to have been misplaced. But considering their last attempt ended with me...
Therefore, I took it upon myself.
Trying to help those wolves. The abused champion underdog. So that, like you, I am trying to keep Haley safe. To empower her people so they are capable.
One that will only provoke further violence. You see...
The drums of war were beating long before we returned. Use a little less of this and a little more of these. Think very carefully before you... Mercy I've shown thus far.
Whatever anger you have towards...
I received an urgent call on your behalf, which, by the looks of things, is dissuading. He is a good man. He shouldn't say... Doctor, we need to have a word. This story does not have how noble your aim. Maybe it's time to give up. To let go. What? Where are you?
This is enough.
To get him out of here and have my undivided attention. In the meantime, please. He's in cardiac arrest. He doesn't have much time. As for the hex, perhaps his death would be a mercy. You know as well as I do, love. You'll never go. Turning him wasn't the goal.
Just a little longer.
Yes, you've had a trying day. Our best to break it to you. Years, the hex was broken. A few hours. Hunger you feel. It'll only grow if you do not feed. You will die.
We're being kind.
Bayou explosion. I've witnessed firsthand the depths of your... Kieran is in transition. Your exile is suspended for the next 24 hours. First, Marcel's master. I assume you're ready to give up this doomed... I suppose I have Haley to thank for your...
You're fond and you're below. I'm a long time.
No additional platitudes are necessary. Discard me are manifesting as nightmare. Terrifically.
Well, I see you've come to return.
The boy shall remain with me. I've misinterpreted the matter as up for debate. You know, my father and dance are on the body of a loved of peace, Haley. All manner of unknown enemies conspiring against rings are in progress. We will find and punish whoever Lord chosen today to haunt me. Cheers, Michael. Day of peace. Then by killing someone. Oh, how talented you are with your tongue. I need to tear it from your mouth. God, a fool would, but she certainly wants us to. Called to a rather reluctant Bennett witch in Mystic Falls who said the are being torn away into nothingness. The plus side will soon be rid of his abhorrent soul. I suppose we'll have to see.
100 months pregnant and pissed off at the world.
Were I to wage a war on the wolves, you'd be my first kill. I would string you up. Much as I would hate to throw you over my shoulder and drag you kicking. Let me put this in perspective. Not my intention to become him. This bloody hate funerals. She was a nurse. Will the baby survive if delivered now? I'll rip it out of him. I won't lose that baby. Fighters, both of you. Well, I'm relieved to hear it. All I ask is that the child is kept safe. I want to show you something. You said you saw my... He's done damage only a father could... What did he say to you? Haley has agreed to return home to us of her own free will. Nicole is truly gone.
I know you're up to something with the wolf.
Well, that will be your choice. Just better than anyone, the specific agony of a father's hate. Decades trying to make up for what your father... How did I fail?
You raised me.
And what of the improvements used on us when she turned us into a vampire?
That's not the deal.
There's something more valuable than my my mother's grimoire. Road in the middle of the only person who will be bold enough to aid Marcel is and there it is. Oh, Joshua. But it will kill him just the same. Not without mercy, Davina. And tell me where to find Marcel. Accolades to Marcel, he did quite a dance across the bridge. Where is he now? And for Haley's affection, I think you'd agree. Well, that's typical, isn't it? Before I pull out his Thanks for asking. Is his way of saying he means to prevent that. He means to procuring rare items at short notice. All my friends do. And you have what I asked for.
Is full disclosure.
At your capacity for reason. So be it. I'd just as soon limit the mother of my unborn child to the side effects of your will. I control my form. Use my blood. If you fail to uphold your end of the deal, the consequences for you will be apocalyptic. Get Haley to safety. Too afraid to show his face. Again.
Look around.
He's mine. This won't take long. How well your name fits you. Warrior. Though ultimately one of no consequence. Is there no end to your defiance? You summon Michael. Turn Rebecca against me. Try... but put you out of your misery. What have you done to me?
And as for you, the great irony is...
Who's the lucky recipient then? Jack. How is our littlest wolf? Your secret letter then.
Fight for you, no matter what.
I will pay them.
She's gone. I was bested. Can save her.
Tombs are empty, the grounds are deserted, she's not...
Form a ritual which will feed their ancestors for centuries. That's one word. Since them, I can feel them, and yet they are
The enemies that you have made, every single... could live and thrive as some sort of You knew this.
for her mother. We passed through here twice. Then we move fast. She's in transition to be reborn a hybrid. You took my daughter so I would heal you and your...
This is the...
For that. We should have known she would not be bound by anything as I expect the Carrera wolves to back down. Haley and the child are wolf royalty. That I have made enemies every day.
Every adversary in this town, and we have won.
Who seek power and revenge will... She has inherited all our...
But in the end, they were...
Not if no one knows she lives.
The baby? Let's get spot in time to stop it.
And how will you with her? I appreciate you being here. Hell-bent on killing me. The witches will buy... Or she has a hint of the devil in her eyes. That's all me. You will return. Her name is...